And for the last 3 years, the economy has been impacted like never before. Inflation is kicking into high gear right now. Managing our finances has become quite a challenge. Joining me this morning with tips to navigate is Delta Community Credit Union CEO and our friend, Hank Halter. Welcome.
Good morning, Christine. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. We talked about at the top of the show. You couldn't have picked a better day to come on. Very timely, because we are concerned with inflation, with the economy, the failure of huge banks. I mean, you know, has us all a little bit rattled. So tell me about what your perspective is about what's going on in our economy.
Right, and this is something that Delta Community is looking at quite closely.
I bet.
You're right, it is an uncertain period. And humans don't like uncertainty. It makes us all uncomfortable. And we are seeing inflation. You know, we're seeing inflation on necessity type items, gasoline, food, clothing, discretionary items like travel. Even the cost of borrowing has gone up, so it's affecting everybody.
All right, so let's talk about some tips to help our consumers better manage their finances during these times.
Sure, good point. First, look at your finances, in particular your savings. Do you have a rainy day fund? And you know, everyone needs some sort of rainy day fund in your savings. You might have an unexpected car repair, home repair, a medical expense. You might have a temporary stop in job. You know, you might not be working temporarily. And then so set some money aside, and then also put that money to work for you. Find a high-yielding money market account, or maybe a high-yielding CD account, so while you're not using that savings, it's earning interest for you and growing.
Exactly. Well, that was going to be my next question. A lot of these online banks are popping up. They're touting, you know, these high deposit rates. Talk to me more about, is that something that our customers, our viewers should be looking into?
You know, what I tell consumers every day is do your homework.
Right.
So if you see something that looks very appealing to you that's an online bank, look at the reputation of the institution. How well are they known? Look at their financial stability. Are they a stable company that you want to partner with? Be aware of teaser rates. You know, oftentimes you might see a high rate offered initially, and then there's some fine print.
I was just about to say, you always got to read that fine print.
And also be careful about, you know, if this is an online institution, how will I get a hold of them? Is there a live person? You know, oftentimes you can't get a hold of a live person at one of these places.
Right.
So do your homework.
Exactly. And then as we're talking about, you mentioned borrowing. What should our consumers be thinking about when it comes to taking on new loans or just managing the debt that they already have?
Very good question. The first thing I would recommend anyone to do is look at the existing debt they have today. Is there a way to consolidate it to achieve a lower rate? Secondly, if you are considering taking on more debt, really study how much you can afford and talk to your financial partner. Most people can be approved for more debt than they can really manage, and that's something that's concerning. They may be able to spend more, but is that something in the long run that they're going to be able to maintain the service cost on?
Exactly. All right, so if somebody out there is thinking about Delta Community Credit Union, you offer some great advice for us today. What should we be looking at in terms of the products and the services that you offer? You've been on the show for years, and there's just so many to choose from when it comes to fitting your needs.
Right. Well, the good thing about Delta Community Credit Union, first of all, we're in Metro Atlanta. And talking about your viewing audience, for instance, virtually anyone watching today, as long as they live or work in one of the 16 Metro Atlanta counties, they're eligible to join Delta Community. Okay, the products I've mentioned, high-yielding money market, high-yielding CD, Delta Community offers those products. But something that's unique about Delta Community, we're a credit union, so we're a not-for-profit.
Right.
Any profit we generate, we return back to our members. And we have live people at Delta Community who care about our members. Because of the not-for-profit, we're not in business to make a profit off those members. We offer free financial education. So in addition to deposit products, to home loans, car loans, Visa cards, we offer education. Last year we had 185 different free courses. We touched 8,000 participants, offering courses on many topics, on borrowing, on how to save, how to think about retirement, acquiring your first car, maybe your first home, and everything in between. But the key is that Delta Community wants to partner with our members to help them get the most out of their finances. And again, I want to emphasize there's real people at Delta Delta community
Yeah.
that care about you.
Sure, sure. One of the things I've noticed is these days, you know, you try to get to a branch of a certain bank and you can't even get a
Right.
hold of anybody. So just incredible, very important information. We so appreciate it. If somebody would like to join, where can they go? The website's the best place?
Website's easy, deltacommunitycu.com. We also offer 32 full-service branches. If you want to stop in one of our Metro Atlanta branches, we're happy to work with you in person.
Terrific. Thank you, Hank. As
Thank you.
always, such good
Great seeing you.
information. And we'd like to thank Delta Community Credit Union for sponsoring that